On that very day, Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, together with his wife and the wives of his 3 sons, entered the ark. They had with them every wild animal according to its kind, all livestock according to their kinds, every creature that moves along the ground according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind. Everything with wings, pairs of all creatures that have the breath of life in them, came to Noah and entered the ark. The animals go in were male and female of every living thing as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord shut him in. So I noticed firstly 2 questions. Noah didn't shut the door. Okay, Noah didn't shut the door. Noah didn't decide the time to shut the door, to close everything. I think the Lord shut him in. So the gate, I believe, it was closed from outside by some kind of force. So Noah just a operator. He cannot decide when and where, how. Only thing he just like drive the boat or feeding the animal. I think that's probably his role. Mostly God decide the time to shut the door. Second thing is, they still refuse any other humans. So I think even any other human tried, I think either they refuse or God prevent whatever, or the design, internal design may not allow the extra human for that. That's what I think. We cannot it's the size of the ark according to the beginning of the calculation. I don't think all the animal on the earth or the wing, whatever, will fit. It's just impossible because the size is 1/3 of a Titanic, right? And how could you put an elephant, tiger, those huge hypno, those kind of big animal into it? It's just impossible. Also, the place where Noah was, let's say, just Middle East or somewhere just, let's say, like original where Bible from those place. Some animal from the north, from the different states, it doesn't have enough time for them to move there. So gonna be the explanation for other gods. Other gods may have the same setting so they can reserve all the gene samples. Also, I think there is a possible Atlantis. There's no gene sample left for Atlantis, whatever, because Atlantis is in the middle of the ocean, and when a huge wave, big water, smash it down to the ocean, and there's no way for those animals or whatever something escape, unless there is Atlantic people. They were on different continent. They might have the opportunity to survive, so they still have some story, a memory about the homeland. But most just smashed to the bottom of the ocean, and right now I believe it's in Sahara Desert, center of the Sahara Desert. Anyway, I think in here the whole thing, my thinking is it's possible like a kind of like a deep space travel. It's you have a hibernation, those chambers for those animals. Either they will stay in there for a time they need it, and they do need like a food or something, but not for during the travel. Maybe for the beginning and after wake up, but not for during the traveling time. That's, well, I'm thinking about maybe too far ahead. Yeah. (7:17) The 40 days the flood kept coming on the earth, and as the waters increased, they lifted the ark high above the earth. the water rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. They rose greatly on the earth, and all the high mountains under the entire heaven were covered. The water rose and covered the mountain to a depth of more than 20 feet. So firstly, we realize, Cleo, no, drop. Firstly, we realize the water like rapidly grow. So kind of like in and out. In is more than out. So there is a way, indeed there is a way water out, we can know. Then secondly, the water above the mountain 20 feet. 20 feet is, no, hold on, let me see how many feet. Yeah, 20 feet. 20 feet, it's about what, 6 meters. So in order for God or gods or heavens to kill all the creatures, especially they focus on the giants, right? So they will not allow or will not give those giants times to react. So even they can react within a couple days or a couple more days to make some kind of bow and some kind of ship, but it will not sustain them for that long, so especially for food. Also, even they standing on the top of the mountain, the water, the flood may wash them away, because 20 feet, I think that's the possible size of those giants, or little taller than those giants, the limitation. So you fast, you don't give them a reaction time. You design the maximum water or the possible water needed to kill them. So that's it's a systematic work. So when you do things, firstly you need to find out what's the target, what's their capacity, and what's the Earth's capacity, how to get those waters. So they prepare. How many days? I think God started to prepare in about 100 years, because when God asked Noah try to build a ship, right? Before that, he already have the blueprint. So he knew, okay, I'm gonna bring where I gonna bring the waters? From the space, maybe from the moon, even more. How soon I'm gonna raise it? And it takes, well, probably 100,000 years to thought about this, and only take 40 days to apply for. So a good operation or a great operation or something, it's kind of like you prepare for years and years. Just for example, right now, if I'm ready to do something I'm starting invasion, right? So we will have, firstly I will do collection, information collection. Then I will create some media and social media and start to like drop your credit, start to do the economy things. Then I start to like set all the military base on it, and start to isolate the diplomatic, your friends, whatever. So a lot of things like there is a jargon for this. It's called DIMES. D is diplomatic, I is intelligent, M is military, S is E is economy, S is social media. So it's from this 5 aspect you do a circle, psychologic method. Try to increase step by step. So if people interested, you can see, you can find those trends from the news, from like firstly you from like from a kind of relationship are getting worse, or start to point finger each other, whatever. Then after that you start to like send them more like intelligent collection, or start focus the funding on intelligence. Then after that you start to change the military equipment, change the military's base setting, those kind of things. Then after that you start to pull the investment, start to like give a pressure or silent all kinds of things. Then after that, make a internationally start to like socially isolation, then increase the steps. So it's very normal. It's very normal. I think same thing here. God does the same ways. He start to like firstly he start to like isolate himself from all people. All people are bad, right? Then make Noah is the only one. So I'm just keep reserved for Noah, and I start to collect information from the water, from the earth. I think they already have it. Then start to like apply alliance, apply all the forces, because the gates, heaven's gates, all the gates gonna open same time, so it's a military operation. Then after that, it's he support Noah to build all the ships, all the arks. Okay, then build all the arks economically. Then he keep telling, oh no, all those bad, don't save them. So it's from the media, social media or something. So I think that kind of pattern we can see even in the history. 21st, every living thing that moved on the earth perished, birds, livestock, wild animals, all the creatures that swarm over the earth, and all mankind. Everything on dry land that had the breeze of life in its nostril died. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out, men and animals, and the creatures that move along the ground and the birds of the air were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. The water flooded the earth for 150 days. So Noah is the one, actually, the one to be lefted. So his son, his wife, they doesn't really do not consider as a important. They just the necessity for Noah to continue his mission. So in God's plan, those people, it's not that important. In here, I just realized. Second thing, I try to punch through this chapter because I don't like it. I really don't like the way of those such massive mass killing and reset. It's hopeless. You have no way to avoid, no way to change. So it repeat and repeat again and again, and because of some violence, because some corruption, because just the direction went a different direction, God or heavens, they directly violate the free will, and they just wipe out anything, everything. So I think, what's wrong about those animals? What's wrong about those birds? What's wrong about those? It's just too much, just too much. So doesn't matter how you talk about God's love, how God's kindness, you standing your position as a slave, give thanks, give worship to someone, actually wipe out everything. And you expect he will spare your life, spare you. No. He only wants someone. He was chosen. And nobody know who. Also, I still clearly know that eternal life, eternity and forever life is two different things. God doesn't want us to have forever life. It just, period. He just said, no, in case they will like us. No, he want someone manageable, lab rats. And even the promise about eternity is he want the new product, the soul, the battlefield, that purified soul, to be useful for his next test, next level. So just wake up. Yeah, it is hard for us right now to make a dog, one dog listen to me, not doing something, barking, follow around, or biting something, right? But right, in this picture we saw like Noah and his son and a wife's wife, whatever, all of them. It's easy for them to organize all kinds of animals, bugs, snakes, birds, dogs, sheep, bullhorn, whatever, all you can think. Okay, they line up. Yeah, you gotta be lined up, right? Because some are prey, some are predator, and they might eating each other. So I don't know what way they control or manage them. I still think by the setting of everything, I feel that maybe make more sense. It's kind of like Noah's Ark. It's more like a deep space travel. God kind of like copied the previous setting. So they have some animals, but most are genes. So maybe they can use some animal as a food prey for predators, but only left the gene, and those prey is easy to clone, right? And when the land get dry, right, they can start to clone the animal, and all the material may prepared for those animals. Same thing, the predator, same thing, maybe they are the food for Noah. I don't know, it's just my thoughts, because if we think about this way, it's like if put them in a hibernation, right? And it's easy to manage. You don't need to worry too many poop, animal argues. So is that possible? Yeah, it's possible, because that time our Adam had a really good relationship with all the animals, and God even wanted Adam to ban some animal to release his urge. So maybe that time human get a more understanding language, whatever, some way to communicate with animals. So that's that. If from that aspect, it may be easy to explain some questions, some doubts about the ark. Yeah, I assume Noah had almost all a lot animals. I think that's the setting make more sense. And those food, people been asking, they have to prepare 1 year food, and where the storage, where all the poo goes, something. I think if you put it into a deep space travel, a hibernation, that kind of setting, make more sense. Also, it's 150 days. So I think to make sure the water reach its maximum capacity, or it has all the water takes time to evaporate, to take down by those deep abyss. Make sure those 150 days everything is settled. So I think that's maybe a little bit off the God's calculation, maybe, because there are many tribes, many people or animals survived without ark. So, but at least the majority parts, the giants, were eliminated. And why those giants were eliminated, and instead of a human, little maggots within their eyes were survived, I don't know. Only thing I can think is it is globally, but it is more globally and focused to target on those giants. Yeah, to wipe out those giants. So maybe huge flow, something, because giants, they have to live in certain conditions. You can't just live in a little house. You have to live in a big cave or big temple, right? So maybe those focus target on those kind of place. But anyway, I think chapter 2 are gonna finish right now, because I don't want to keep going for chapter 2. It's just too much to see these global level crazy things, yeah, and they make me mad more. Chapter 7, hypothesis conclusion. Chapter 7 is a big picture God instructed Noah and to build the ark, and when the rain comes, they move all the animals into the ships. Also, the time how long it lasts. So that big picture, all I can see is just like keep raining, people crying, moaning, weeping, and asking for help, and nothing left. It just wipe out everything. And it is a calculated, premeditated plan, and heavens plural, heavens did it. It's globally, and as a remaining or the offspring of the remaining this great flood, I do not appreciate and never feel like lucky. It just could be different ways, but right now, what can you say? So also I think from here, God does things like God copy what they did before. I believe they cannot tolerate certain things, and certain things cannot just the culture or the high civilization. They go two different ways. They rather violate the free will, because when we talk about free will, it's the highest principle of the universe, but it make the existence both evil and good. You can't say evil is bad. You cannot say good is good. They are just two names, just two existed phenomena in the universe, and there is a free will running within it. Nobody can do the formula. Just the side you picking and the side you decided to follow and to sacrifice. So that's all I can say. This is chapter 7. God tried to reset everything, and even not the biggest reset, but still God and heavens did their best or possible to reset everything. And after the reset, the Earth's environment is changed, totally changed, because it was three parties, and human, Earth, and heaven, or human, Earth, and heaven, and the part of the human, heaven, liberal army, I guess. Then right now adding a new party, that's the curse, the force which came from all the souls, the dying souls. So adding a new parties into the whole game, so make the whole situation even worse. So make the God plan actually off the rail. And in order for God to regain the power to understand more, that takes hundreds years, 1,000 years. God send Jesus, or he used another way to understand the human, understand the soul. So he understand the soul. He realized soul has to be purified in certain way, and the only very small portion of the soul can be used. That's my conclusion and hypothesis.